discussion with them, and at the end of the day, what happens is they push your details to the hiring company, okay? And that's what we call the hidden job market. And the reason is because it's just between you, the recruiter, and the hiring company. And that's why it is very important. And part of the reason why it's very important is the competitions there are not too high, okay? Because they've done the filtering before even having to reach out to you, okay? So the competition is not so high, and you eventually landing the offer is almost 50%, if not 50%, because it just boils down to how well you tend to present or sell yourself, or put it that way, okay? But then if you've had, let me just ask this question, okay? If you've had a recruiter reach out to you in the past via your LinkedIn or via your email, I need a reaction, okay? Maybe a thumbs up, just a thumbs up. If you had recruiter reach out to you in the past, a thumbs up. I want to believe at least one person should have a recruiter reach out to them in the past. Olutayo Johnson, okay, fantastic. I mean, I was almost very scared. If at least at least just once, okay, just once, would really do. All right, so only Olutayo, okay, fantastic. And I mean, and that's the more reasons why we are here, okay? That's the more reasons why we are here. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead, introduce myself. My name is Abdullahi Suleiman. They're just meeting me for the first time. I'm Abdullahi Suleiman. I'm an employability associate here at Talent Loop. So I pretty much help professionals secure interviews, and have successfully landed 50 plus of them roles. Okay, at the side, I'm also a data engineer. So the technical aspect of things, you'll definitely find me there. I do that for fun. Okay, one other thing I do for fun, most really, I like to tell people is to fix cars. Okay, to fix cars, whether you want to call it mechanic or an automobile engineer, is something I really, really fancy doing. But on top of it all, is the fact that I help people change the entire narrative concerning their job. Should I call it their job session or their job life? Okay, I change the entire narrative whereby right from up until their CV is being written down to where they eventually land the offer. I really, really enjoy being in the entire transitioning phase. Okay. Okay. All right. Fantastic. So the main reason why we are here today, okay, the main reason why we are here today, and we really need to speak about it, is how recruiters tend to search on LinkedIn. How recruiters tend to search on LinkedIn, okay, and why your profile is invisible. Why your profile is invincible. How LinkedIn ranks candidates, okay? How LinkedIn ranks candidates, and I'll pretty much call it a 7-day action plan, or maybe just some stages you need to work on in terms of how to ensure that you are optimized. Okay, there's something around LinkedIn's. Don't worry, we'll get into it. Okay, we'll get into it while we speak. Just to confirm, guys, if you're following 100%, you're still with me. I need your reaction because I need everyone's attention. Just give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. You're following. I need a thumbs up from you. All right, fantastic, Chan Chess. Okay, I mean, it's just one reaction I'm seeing, guys. Just one reaction. I need more reactions, please. Okay, thank you, Babatunde. Fantastic, Olutayo. Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Kiyomi, I can see everyone. Yeah, I like the energy now. Okay, I don't just want to be speaking. I need everyone to be carried along. Okay, I need everyone to be carried along 100%. Okay, now, like I had mentioned while we started, I was trying to paint a scenario. Thank you very much for that. Okay, I was trying to paint a scenario whereby imagine you're a recruiter. Okay, let's just see. Imagine you're a recruiter now, maybe in the UK or in Canada or in US. Okay, and you have dozens of open roles. You have dozens of roles. Say, for example, data analytics, data science, Scrum Master, Project Scrum Master, Train Delivery Manager, and the likes. Okay, you have dozens number of roles, and you also have a tight deadline, because recruiters are also in a job, okay, whereby they need to meet a deadline to get that role filled up. Okay, so they are also in a job and they have that tight deadline, and most of the times the talents are numerous. Okay, you can have hundreds and sometimes even thousands of candidates that fit into this. Okay, thousands or hundreds of candidates that really fit into these jobs you're looking to fill up. Okay, these jobs you're looking to fill up. Now, very interestingly, would you sit down and go through CV one by one? Would you sit down and go through CV one by one? No, it's 100% no. Okay, recruiters will definitely search. All right, recruiters would definitely search, and that's why that's one very key thing job seekers most times don't really understand. Okay, job seekers don't really understand because recruiters would search. They're not going to keep going through LinkedIn like it's a CV platform. No, they would definitely search, and they would do this thing whereby they filter. So recruiters have their specific LinkedIn for recruiters or recruiter likes that they use in terms of searching through. Okay, so today we just pretty much be talking about how to write a nice profile. Okay, how to write a nice profile, how and how recruiters actually find people. Okay, how recruiters actually find people, and how you can easily position yourself, so you're one of the people they see. Okay, so you're one of the people they see. All right, so you are one of the people they see. Like I'd mentioned just at the beginning of the session, most times whenever a recruiter tends to reach out to you, the possibility or probability of you eventually getting that offer, okay, not just even just the interview, is very high. Okay, so because I know quite a number of you on this call would have been putting out a lot of applications, and at the end of the day you might just sit down and look, why don't these recruiters or hiring managers even send me a DM or send me a mail? Okay, and we can take it up from there. That's the more reasons why this session is definitely holding. Okay, this session is definitely holding. Okay, now one very interesting thing that we need to really touch base of. Okay, we really need to touch base of. All right, fantastic, guys. So if you're on the call and pretty much you want to get the material, or you want to get the resources that would be discussed here, you can just take about 1 to 3 minutes, fill out the form while you still listen to me. Okay, while you still listen to me. So the form is in the chat box. You can fill that up, and we'll definitely absolutely send the material or resources to you. Okay, the materials or the resources to you. Now, recruiters don't use LinkedIn. They don't just browse LinkedIn. They filter LinkedIn. Okay, like I mentioned, they filter LinkedIn 100%, and they use the page tool called LinkedIn Recruiter. Okay, LinkedIn Recruiter or Recruiter Lite. Okay, LinkedIn Recruiter or Recruiter Lite. And the reason why they use this tool is so it gives them about 40 plus filter. Okay, 40 plus filters, a lot of filters from job title, skills, location, years of experience, and the likes. Okay, skills, location, years of experience, and the likes. Okay, and pretty much they need to do something very interesting. Not use LinkedIn as a CV platform. Okay, so they need to use LinkedIn as a search engine, and that's the more reasons why they have to filter through. Okay, that's the more reasons why they have to filter through. Usually, your activity on LinkedIn goes a long way. Okay, your activity on LinkedIn goes a long way, and there is that ranking system whereby you need to do a thing around search engine optimization. It also exists on LinkedIn. Okay, it also exists on LinkedIn 100%. Okay, it exists on LinkedIn 100%. Okay, and as I was saying, recruiters to do these things whereby they have to filter down 40 plus filters, from job title to skills to locations, years of experience, to the company, to the education, keywords, and even more. Okay, and even more keywords. Okay, and even more keywords. So recruiters are not searching for potential. Again, they are not searching for potential. Trust me. What they are searching for is a proof of fit. All right, they're searching for a proof of fit. Okay, they're searching for a proof of fit, and that's the more reasons why when they are going through, they're searching through, like I mentioned while I was speaking, hundreds of candidates are there. They have that tight deadline because they are also on a job. Trust me, recruiters are also on a job. All right, so they need to filter very fast. Okay, they need to filter very fast. Okay, they need to filter very, very fast. Now, one very interesting thing again, one very interesting thing, like we had mentioned in terms of location, in terms of keywords, the typical search board starts with the job title, the location, and the years of experience. Okay, job title, location, and the years of experience. That's where the typical search will start from, and that's what is at the back of everyone's mind. Now, they aggressively narrow it down. Trust me, it's aggressive. Okay, that filter to skills, to keywords, to industry, to recent activities. Okay, and that's where the blunt truth lies. Okay, that's where the blunt truth lies, and where the blunt truth is they don't scroll past page 1 or page 2. Trust me, they are also on a job and they need to meet a deadline. So you don't have them, scroll past the first page or the second page. All right, and if you don't appear early, you practically don't exist. Okay, if you don't appear early, you practically don't exist. And what that means is, after filtering down the first page, they look through the first page, they feel, that's the top feed and that's the best fit for that particular role. Again, remember, they are searching for the best fit. Okay, they're searching for the best fit, and page 1, page 2, if you don't appear, you practically do not exist. Okay, you practically do not exist. Now, very importantly, like I mentioned, they use keywords. But aside the fact that they use keywords, if you take out time and look through a recruiter's job title, you'd see it there that they need to understand the Boolean logic search. Okay, the Boolean search, they need to understand that. And most times you find recruiters use this search always. Okay, they use it always. So they search more like it's a database and they are looking to handpick people from it. Okay, and that's what LinkedIn stands for. It's that repository, it's that database whereby you are there as a talent and then they pick you from there. So you have them use some search tools, like say for example some Boolean search like data analyst and SQL and Power BI. Okay, data analyst and SQL and Power BI. What this means is, what they are typically looking for there is a data analyst that has SQL, that's the AND command. If you're very used to Python, you'd understand what this Boolean logic really is. Okay, so it exists for the LinkedIn recruiter or recruiter light that recruiters use while searching for you via LinkedIn. Okay, so you'd have them use something around data analysts and SQL and Power BI, or you'd have project manager, not junior. Okay, project manager, not junior. So they are not looking for anyone in the junior aspect of things. Okay, in the junior aspect of things. Or you can see something like project manager and train delivery manager and scrum master. So they want to see all these things. They are, pretty much as we move through the slides, you would have a look at what this really is. Okay, you would have a look at what this really all these things really is. Okay, so you'd have them use some of these keywords to search down. Okay, search down. And one very interesting thing is, no matter how good you are, LinkedIn cannot surface you. Okay, no matter how good you are, LinkedIn cannot surface you. And that's the more reasons why you need to ensure that your visibility is at par. Okay, your visibility is at par. Now, one very interesting thing that ensures that you're really out there. You're really out there, and recruiters can definitely view your profile is your headline. Okay, your headline, your title, all this needs to be fixed. Okay, all this needs to be fixed. So you don't want to have the wrong title, you don't want to have missing keywords. You want to ensure, in fact, something I tell people is, you can just do a bit of survey or research. Okay, check through about 5 or 10 different job titles or job descriptions. Okay, and then you extract some keywords. And you use that on your profile. Okay, you use that on your profile. What I mean by on your profile, don't worry, we'll still get into that. Okay, use that on your profile. You ensure it is there on your profile, as well as the skills you can find all through. Okay, the skills you can find all through. Now, very importantly, you want to ensure that your profile is very active. Okay, your profile is very active. Okay, your profile is very active, and just like I had mentioned, just like I had mentioned, LinkedIn is ranking signals specific. Okay, so it depends on the kind of keywords that you have, the activity, the kind of network that you have. I mean, you can't just follow people shabbily on LinkedIn. It's not a social media platform. Okay, LinkedIn is absolutely not a social media platform. Trust me, guys. Okay, so the kind of people you follow. In fact, one advice I would give you right on this call is try as much as possible to always follow recruiters. Okay, so you search for recruiters and you follow them. Search for founders, CEOs, CTOs. You follow them. Okay, and you also try as much as possible to engage their comment sections. Okay, engage their comment sections. And the reason for this is, aside the fact that you don't want to leave your LinkedIn profile dormant, whereby you don't really post via your LinkedIn. You also want to engage these guys. You also want to send them messages. And one very interesting thing is you will automatically become a top feed to them. Okay, you will automatically become a top feed to them. Why, you know, why they tend to search for why they tend to search for talent. Okay, why they tend to search for talent. So the different layers for your searchability. Okay, the different layers for your searchability is going to start with this first one, which is your headline, your job title, your about section, and your skills. Okay, your headline. Now you need to fix your headline. Most importantly, for you to be visible. Okay, for you to be visible, it's not just about optimization. Okay, it's not just about optimization. You definitely need to fix your headline. And that's where you pretty much want to have a lot of things on your headline. Say for example, you don't want to have something around passionate professional with experience in no. Okay, you don't want to have that in your LinkedIn. What you want to have in your headline, rather, I beg your pardon for that. What you want to have on your headline is something around data analyst, SQL, Power BI, Python, even the years of experience. Trust me, even the years of experience. And if you're in some specific regions, okay, I'm still going to take base on that. You would also want to have it that you're open to some roles. You're open to some roles, and that will definitely assist you whenever distributors go in there to search. Okay, go in there to search. Now, for your about section, one very important thing is who you are, what you do, what problem you solve, and what role you're open to. Okay, what role you're open to. Now, those keywords must appear naturally as you're speaking about who you are. Those keywords are embedded there. Okay, those keywords are embedded there. Now, what you do, you still have those keywords. Those keywords should be present in there. Now, remember, I mentioned something as I was speaking earlier. You need to search through about maybe 5 or 10 different job description, job adverts, and you have details from there. Okay, you have details from there. You put those details into your about section. Okay, your about section. So you want to fit into those 5 different or 10 different job description. And the reason is because while those skills are present, while the skills or the keywords are present, okay, it really helps you in terms of you being able to tell that story effectively. Okay, you being able to tell that story naturally. The keywords would appear naturally and not just stuffed in there. Okay, as to who you are, what you do, what problem you solve, what role you're open to. Okay, what role you are open to. Okay, and that pretty much brings me to the next layer of activity. Okay, the next layer, I'm sorry about that, the next layer of activity, and that's where most people lose out on. Okay, that's where most people lose out on. Remember, I mentioned something. LinkedIn tends to rank people, not just the profile. It tends to rank you. Okay, it tends to rank you, and that's what LinkedIn Signal is about. So the signals LinkedIn boosts is the comments. Okay, comments. Not just likes that you have. Say, for example, you're always posting. Okay, it's not just the likes you have, but the comments. Okay, the comments that you make, meaning you also engage. You don't want to appear on LinkedIn as a bot. Okay, you don't want to appear on LinkedIn as a bot. Okay, now consistency is greater than or is more than you being viral. Okay, it's more than you being viral on LinkedIn. A lot of people like your comments, a lot of people are reposting, a lot of people are resharing. Okay, you also need to ensure that that industry relevance is there. Okay, industry relevance is there. This is way more than motivational quotes. Please, one very interesting thing: you don't want to be a motivational speaker while you're on LinkedIn. Okay, please, you don't want to be a motivational speaker while you're on LinkedIn. If you're following anyone who is at the forefront of putting things around politics, around global activities that's not related to your field, okay, again, so you're following someone who is more around politics, or speaks around global activities or social norms, please, you want to even unfollow that person. Okay, you want to disconnect from the person. Okay, don't just connect, disconnect from the person. Please, you disconnect from the person. Most importantly, you don't want to find yourself engaging on comments like that or engaging on posts like that. Okay, now, very interestingly, when you engage on posts like that, okay, when you engage on posts like that, you follow any recruiter, and what happens is it will give them that notification that you had engaged on a particular type of post. And say, for example, during their free times, they tend to, or you repost. Post painfully, I have people who reshare, or they repost, or you repost, or you like, and it appears you on your field. You don't want recruiters to definitely see those kind of things while you're searching. So you don't want to dabble into politics or any world activity or global activity. What you want to pay attention to is something very relevant to your industry. Okay, very, very relevant to your industry. Okay, to your industry. And you want to ensure that while you're commenting, your comments are usually very thoughtful. Okay, you don't just make passive comments or love it or nice. I know a lot of people do that. Nice, brilliant work. No, you want to ensure that it's very thoughtful. Okay, very, very thoughtful. Okay, and that's at the end of the day. Aside the fact that you stay visible in recruiters' feeds, aside the fact that you stay visible in recruiters' feeds, you would also be pretty much your face and your name would definitely be at the top of their notification. So whenever you're getting into their notification, it's something very interesting. Okay, something very interesting. Now, these are the little details people tend to miss out on while they use their LinkedIn. Okay, while they use their LinkedIn. Now, very, very interestingly, again, like I had mentioned, it's very interconnected, guys. Very, very interconnected. Your network visibility is as important. Your network visibility on LinkedIn is as important as anything you do on LinkedIn. Okay, is as important as anything you do on LinkedIn. So you can definitely search through, say, for example, recruiters who are in your career field or your career path. While you follow them or while you connect with them, you want to ensure that you also check through their profile. You can check through their industry and also connect to their colleagues. Okay, you also connect to their colleagues. Now, you want to ensure that you're within the second degree of connection. Okay, you're within the second and the first degree of connection. You're not far away. You're not a third degree. Most times you'll see that beside any name that you search or you look through via LinkedIn, whether it's a first degree or a second degree or a third one. You want to ensure that you stay within the first or the second degree. Okay, the first or the second degree. You want to also, it might be difficult at one thing because you'd have a lot of people say, or also try as much as possible to follow through with people who they've hired before or people in their network. It might be quite difficult to search through people they have hired before. But what you want to ensure that you can do is always stay connected within their network. Okay, always stay connected within their connection, and that's why it is. I'll say this 100%. That connection, that strategic connection, is always greater than mass applications. Okay, it's always greater than mass applications, meaning the connections you build via LinkedIn, it goes a long way. It goes a long way, much more than applications you put out there. Because whenever you put out an application, you're going against quite a number, tons and tons and tons of competition. Then put it that way, okay? Tons and tons of competition, and then you find it difficult and you're not getting a call back, or at the end of the day, it's a rejection. I mean, you've done everything right, but then you have a competition that's way better than you, or a competition that had gotten forth better than you before you had gotten there. It might not necessarily mean that they are better than you in some cases. It might just be that, you know, they were just the best fit before you got in the picture. And that's why most times the connection you build via your LinkedIn is much more important than you mass applying. Okay, the connection you build via LinkedIn is much more important than you know, mass applying. Okay, and that's, you know, why this session exists. Okay, why this session exists. And I'm just going to pick out, you know, the three most important aspects that you would find these recruiters always look out for. Okay, recruiters always look out for. Say for example, that quick but very important distinction amongst all. Say for example, the UK job market. The UK job market, what do recruiters tend to look out for? Location, very important. Whether you're in Edinburgh, whether you're in Derby or Manchester or London, you know, they would want to pay attention more on your location. And most importantly, your right to work. Okay, your right to work filter really matters. Okay, your right to work filter really, really, and absolutely matters. Okay, your right to work really does matter. Okay, and that clear job title, you want it to be there. It's very, very critical. You want it to be spelled out, like I mentioned while I was speaking about your headline. You want it to be spelled out. Okay, you want it to be spelled out, and you also want less story. Okay, less story and more clarity, and that's what will help you with your precision. Okay, less story and more clarity, and it's going to definitely help you with your precision. Okay, now for the US recruiters, what they really focus on is, you know, they are very much heavy on keywords and very much heavy on Boolean search. So if you're in US and you're on this call, one very important thing to always put at the back of your mind is the keywords are very important. The Boolean search is also very important, and that's where, you know, the skills, the tools really matter more than the degrees that you have. Okay, the skills, the tools really matters more than the degrees that you have. Okay, if you're in the US, you also want to ensure that you pay attention to the activities. Okay, to the activities that you have on your LinkedIn. It really, really increase your visibility, and that really plays a very big role. Okay, if you're in the US job market and you want to ensure that you know, recruiters find you easily. Okay, recruiters find you easily, and you're able to easily tap into what we call the hidden job market. Okay, now as for the Canadian job market, guys, okay, you want to also pay attention to the city you are in. Okay, I've had the opportunity of working with a very fantastic professional who was in a very interesting location, but there were not much opportunities there. Okay, there were not much opportunities there, and painfully and painstakingly, the kind of visa they were on, you know, didn't give them the opportunity of working outside that province. So they were pretty much locked inside a province. So you want to pay attention to that. Okay, you want to pay attention to that. And the Canadian job market, as opposed to every other job market, are very, very big on certifications and your education. Okay, so you want to also ensure that that is big on your LinkedIn. All right. And as for location, like I had mentioned, okay, is biased. They are really, really, really biased to the locales that they have. Okay, they are really biased to the locales that they have. Okay, and when I mean by the locales that they have, okay, when I mean by the locales that they have is experience that you have within the country really takes you far. Whether it's internship or whether it's a contract role within the location, really goes far in terms of how easily you get you know, a call back from these guys, or you get engaged by these guys. Now, one very interesting thing about LinkedIn that, you know, I'm also going to speak about briefly is the fact that, say for example, you have put out an application, but there is that tab little tab that asks you to insert your LinkedIn link. Okay, so they take out time as well to, you know, go out there and search through your LinkedIn. Okay, search through your LinkedIn, look through it and see who you really are, as opposed as opposed who you claim to be via your CV. And that's the more reasons why, as much as possible, there needs to be that alignment in terms of what your CV is and what your LinkedIn is. Okay. Now, yes, your CV is going to be changing continuously per every job application, but then you want to ensure that your CV, your LinkedIn carries every of the details without leaving any stone unturned. Okay, without leaving any stone unturned. So I'm gonna speak briefly about the visibility sprint. So you want to get visible on LinkedIn. You really want to get visible on LinkedIn, meaning you don't have quite a number of recruiters reaching out to you via LinkedIn, and you want to stay at the top of your game. You want to stay at the top of your game via your LinkedIn. Now, here, this is definitely for you. Okay, this is definitely for you. Okay, this is definitely for you. Now, what you want to do is you want to ensure that the first couple of days, you pay attention to your keywords and your headline. Okay, you pay attention to your keywords and headline. I'm just going to streamline it to day one, day two. You pay attention to your keywords and your headline. And how you want to do this is you pull, different job descriptions. Again, guys, there are quite a lot of informations I'm really giving out verbally as I'm speaking. Okay, so this session is recorded. And if you definitely want to get the recording of this session, what I want you to do is you fill the attendance form. Okay, you fill the attendance form, so you can definitely go through this at your own pace. Okay, you go through this at your own pace, and you tend to follow suit and pay attention to these details and execute every one of them. Okay, so as I was saying, for the first first day, second day, what you want to do is you want to pull through 5 to 10 different job description. Okay, extract about 20 recurring keywords. Okay, you extract keywords that are recurring. Okay, extract those keywords and you use them to fix your headline and your job title. Okay, again, you extract keywords from meaning what I'm asking you to do now is a bit of research. Okay, so you're going to search through job descriptions that's specific to your career path. You extract about 20 recurring different keywords. Again, 20 recurring different keywords, and you use them to fix your headline. Okay, your headline and your job title. That's what's going to help you with your keywords. Okay, that's what's going to help you with your keywords. Now, the second portion or the second part that should really contain a lot of the keywords is your about section. Okay, your about section. What you want to do is you want to take those keywords you have gotten from the script data, like I'd mentioned while I was speaking before, and again now I'm laying emphasis on it, is to ensure that you pick these keywords. Okay, you pick these keywords and you use it to rewrite your about section. Okay, use it to rewrite your about section and tell that story. Okay, you tell that story, who you are, where you're coming from, where you're looking to getting into, what you really possess. You ensure that you use those keywords to state exactly your about section and use it to deliver a concise about section. Okay, a concise about section. Now, for the next couple of days, which is from here, I have this from day 4 to day 5, and the reason why I put it this way is just so you can have that time. I mean, a lot of people don't really have the time to play around LinkedIn, but then between the 4th day to the 7th day, 3 days in between, you can just spend an hour a day, pay attention to comments. Okay, pay attention to comments, meaning you go through feeds and posts that are related. Go through feeds and posts that are related to your job title. Okay, to your job title, to your field, to where you're coming from. Okay, you pay attention. You pay very detailed attention to those posts. Okay, and what I want you to do there is you comment intelligent comments. Okay, very intelligent comments. In fact, most interestingly, if you have recruiters, trust me, I don't want you to do this. Okay, recruiter will post a job via LinkedIn, and the next thing you go to do there is maybe go through the post and you're typing highly interested, highly available, very available. No, you don't want to do that. Okay, what you would want to do is do a bit of introduction. Hi, you do a bit of introduction. You're so and so. You you have so and so years of experience doing this, doing that, specific to the job description. Again, specific to the job description, because what you want to do is you want to sell yourself even via the comment section. Okay, so you're going through the route of engaging feeds that are related to your career path. Okay, they are related to your own field. Okay, so you make strategic comments. One. Number two, you also comment on that recruiters post. Okay, on that recruiters post. So you also do those comments, and then your connections has to be very thought out. Okay, they have to be very strategic. Okay, your connections have to be very thought out and have to be very, very strategic. What I mean by that is, like I mentioned, please, you don't start connecting with people from fields like I mean, you're in the health sector and you're connecting with people in the engineering sector. Trust me, that's very, very far apart. Okay, or you're in the tech industry and you're connecting with people in the entertainment industry. You really do not have, I mean, you really do not have a lot of things in common. Okay, except if you're connecting with the media house. And if you're connecting with the media house, you want to ensure that you have a background in media. Say, for example, a project scrum master related specifically to media, or I'm going to use this. A project scrum master in construction engineering is definitely different from a project scrum master or a project manager or a scrum master IT. Okay, is definitely different. What you'll be doing is entirely different. And if you don't pay attention to these details, it's either you're throwing out connection or you're throwing out where you're even putting your application. That's if you're putting out the application, but specifically to what we're talking about, you want to ensure that your connections are very strategic. And most importantly, you follow recruiters in your target countries. Okay, you follow recruiters in your target country. Okay, you follow recruiters in your target country. So you don't just I mean, the reason why I have it in day one, day three, I mean day one, day two, day three, day four, day five is so it is very, very consistent and not complicated. Okay, so it's very consistent and not complicated. Okay, so you have it consistently and not complicated. Okay, now one very, I mean, the key takeaway I'm going to give everyone on this call, I'm really trying as much as possible to stick to the 40-minute timeline just so we can have discussion, take questions, and also review a couple of things together. Okay. Now, the key takeaway that you should hold on to here is, LinkedIn is not about begging for jobs. Like I'd mentioned, you're not there, you're not begging for a job, please. Okay, you're not begging for a job. What you want to do is position yourself where that opportunity already flow. Okay, so you want to position yourself 100%. Okay, you want to position yourself 100%. Now, one very key thing is, again, if recruiters don't find you, they can't even reject you. They can't even reject you. And what that means is they would never see you. So you need to be out there. Okay, you need to be out there. Your visibility needs, it comes before even the opportunity. Your visibility really comes before the opportunity. So most importantly, you need to be consistent with your LinkedIn. So you don't want your LinkedIn to be empty. Okay, you don't want your LinkedIn to be empty, and you need to ensure that LinkedIn works for you. Okay, you need to ensure that LinkedIn works for you. You don't want to just open LinkedIn and it's lying there without any recruiter reaching out to you. And also, you need to pay attention. One thing is everything works hand in hand. Okay, it works hand in hand from your visibility to the kind of connections that you have to how consistent you are via your LinkedIn. Everything works hand in hand. You can have a well optimized LinkedIn profile, 100% fully optimized LinkedIn profile, but then you don't really have recruiters reaching out to you. So you need to also pay attention to a little of, I mean, all these details. You need to pay attention to the little details that you have in there. Okay, you need to pay attention to the little details that you have in there. Okay, just to confirm, is everyone still with me 100%? You're still on this call, you're following suit. Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a thumbs up? All right, fantastic. Again, if you're following, if you're following the feedback, there is a form. Okay, there is a form. The attendance form is being put in the chat. Okay, the attendance form is being put in the chat. Okay, you just fill the form. Okay, you fill the form, you get the resource, you get this video, as well as the slides. Okay, you get the videos as well as the slides. Okay, you get the video as well as the slides. Okay, you get the video as well as the slides. Okay, you get the video as well as the slides. So I'm just going to take a pause here, just a brief pause, and I'm going to see if anyone has a question. So if you have a question, you can feel free to raise your have a question, you can feel free to raise your hand. Okay, David Murray, I can the name sounds very familiar. Hi, David. Please go ahead.
Yes, I'm actually on the second. This is the second training I'm doing today. I realize that it's not. I mean, it's whatever your explanation is quite different from what you gave us on Thursday. You know, I mean, some of the slides I are presenting, it's quite not consistent with what you gave the last time. But I know all in all, everything is encompassing and all that. You know, and also I'm a bit of confused there because this session, I mean, the last one, I thought we were going to have the recorded video of it, but unfortunately, I don't know. I was trying to talk to my own because, like I said, we are already with Amdari, and this was posted on our page as a group, only for me to say that it wasn't our cohort or something, and we should wait for our own turn. So I don't know where the confusion is. Is it that this is generally for everybody, or it's just for, I mean, different types of cohorts? Are you taking it stage by stage with different kind, or it's general? Is it for everyone? So
All
I
right.
need to be clarified. And just like you're saying now, I thought the last time we were on this, I was supposed to get the recorded video, but I didn't get it. So I don't know how to where to access it, even if I want to get it.
All right, fantastic thing. I really like the fact that you mentioned something. You're coming from Amdari. You're coming from Amdari. Again, just to hit on that very, very aptly. You're coming from Amdari. All right, now being that you're coming from Amdari, and if you remember the session I took on Thursday when you mentioned the slides I have here is quite a lot different from what I had on Thursday. Remember what I had spoken to you about on Thursday was around job application sprint, okay, and how we can help you do that. Okay, how we can help you do that. And what this session is about today, from the beginning of this session, is entirely different, guys. I don't know, can anyone help me put the title in the chat? Entirely different. So I don't think I would come here and speak about the job application sprint when I need to speak about how you can get visible via your LinkedIn. Okay, how you can get visible via your LinkedIn. Now, concerning the video that you need to take, that you need to get and how to access it, you need to reach out to your coordinator or your specialist that you work with via Amdari. Okay, now Amdari did something very nice whereby they had to outsource that particular session where I had come in to take the session. Okay, I was there to take the session just so we can form that collaboration with CV Matchly, Amdari, as well as Talent Loop. And I'll still go ahead to speak about Talent Loop and how we can assist you in terms of, yes, you have the entire knowledge concerning, the job application sprint. You have the entire knowledge concerning how recruiters search on LinkedIn, but you don't have the time. Okay, but you don't have the time, or you don't know how to do it, and we can definitely assist you. So where the mix-up is coming from might be from your end in terms of, speak to your specialist. You can easily ask them the question because, like I mentioned that day on the call, is a lot of internal, a lot of internal activities via Amdari. I'm entirely not aware of. Okay, I'm entirely not aware of. I'm just an outsourced professional who had gone there on Thursday to speak with you, and right when you did raise up your hand, I did remember David Murray, your name, and you mentioned something very important that day, that you had booked a session to speak with one of our specialists on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So, I believe that mix-up must have occurred, via your end. Okay, must have occurred via your end. So the way Dari does their thing might be, seasonal, whereby they have people in batch where they move into their mentorship session, but that definitely happens. Okay, but if you're on the call today, you're on the call today to answer the last part of your question. Okay, if you're on the call today, everyone on the call, 100%, this session is for you. Okay, 100%, this session is for you.
Yeah.
Now, what for this?
Sorry,
What,
I agree with you because I've already filled the form. As you sent out the link now, I've actually filled the form to get back this recorded video.
Absolutely.
So maybe I'm the one that it's not actually. Maybe I'm having a bit of confusion because if this is totally very different from the last one that we did, that means it's a possibility we must actually follow it line by line. I got the notification on Land the Job. I didn't get it from Amdari. Though we try to get to our facilitator to let us know what's up. Why is it that we are not getting these videos recorded? How come we are not getting it? So, like you said, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you are actually outsourced and you are not even part of Amdari and all that, and you're actually giving, taking it, session by session like you're doing it now, But like I filled the form to get this, to actually be able to have a playback of this. Yes.
Absolutely. So you fill the form, you get this particular recording via this form. So please, if you're on the call, and I had mentioned it continuously while I was speaking, you're on the call, you need to go through the entire recording. You need to go through the entire recording so you can follow suit some details that I had mentioned while I was speaking. You need to get the video recording, okay? And you need to fill the form to get that. You need to fill the form and to get that, okay? Now, as I was saying, since I didn't see any more questions come up, okay, just take this one. Applying 2 different roles, what happens? Okay, if you're applying to 2 different roles, it needs to be under the same career path. And what you mean by 2 different roles? Say, for example, a project Scrum Master, Agile Scrum Master are related. Okay, they are related, but then there is something around the application sprints. I really like the fact that this question did come up, and it related to what I had taken last week, Thursday, with the Amdari guys. Don't worry, just follow suit. These sessions, like David Murray had mentioned, okay, you follow suit these sessions that we're going to be taking, as David Murray had mentioned. One very important thing that's going to be occurring is we'll take everything bit by bit, right from the beginning, whereby, your CV is being revamped, your LinkedIn is being revamped, you're applying to jobs, how you can apply the sprint application whenever you want to apply to jobs, up until you eventually getting the interview and even getting prep for the interview, and some techniques you would use in terms of answering some interview-based questions in the scenario part or the technical aspect of the interview, and you eventually setting yourself being a top 1 candidate for that particular job opening. Okay, now everything is going to be talked about. Okay, everything is going to be talked about, and that's what we are here to do. Okay, that's what we are here to do in terms of Talent Loop, and that's why we exist. Okay, that's why we exist. So what we do for you is the entire hard work. Okay, what we do for you is the entire hard work. Either look through the repository of recruiters that we have that had reached out to previous clients that we had worked with or participants that we had worked with, reach out to them on your behalf or apply to these roles on your behalf, while you just sit back and you stay focused if you're currently on a role, or you just want to keep preparing for the interview. All you need to do is just sit back and we take the heavy lifting off of you. Okay, we take the heavy lifting off of you, and what that means is, right from the very beginning, whereby we review your LinkedIn, your LinkedIn, your CV, and we revamp everything to meet what we call the ATS standard. If you are aware of how the ATS tends to work, is the ATS match your job description against match your CV. I beg your pardon for that. Okay, the ATS matches your CV against the job description. Okay, and it scores it pertaining to some specific keywords. So these things that we are talking about are occurring, and if you've worked between the past, there's something I always tell you out before we start any job application, sporadically, any job application. What I do is a bit of web script. Okay, I do a bit of web script whereby I search through the internet, get a lot of job descriptions, and based off of that, I get a lot of skills that are common. okay, that are really out there, that recruiters are really looking to get, because that's definitely just the wish list. There's something I always tell people: don't be scared when you have what we call, or what I call, the master CV. When I create the master CV, and for you, it's usually very scary because you'd have a lot of tools, some you're not really familiar with, some you're very familiar with them. But then I'll have this discussion with you and I'll tell you, look, go through the CV, look at the tools you're not so used to. Look at the tools you're not so used to. The only thing you need to do is to have a bit of knowledge on that tool, okay? A bit of knowledge on that tool. And the reason is because the interview is the most difficult aspect of the job itself, okay? The interview is the most difficult aspect of the job itself. And the job description is just a wish list of the recruiter, okay? The job description is just a wish list of the recruiter. But then stepping into any interview panel, you need to answer some questions specific to the tools you have in the job description, okay? And that's why, you know, the web scrape data in terms of the master CV we're going to be creating for you would really go a long way for you to prepare. So you have a bit of knowledge, whether it's MongoDB, but I know a lot of people don't really use MongoDB these days, okay? So MongoDB is a database. If you're used to data engineering, MongoDB at a point in time used to be the lifeline as opposed SQL. Okay, MongoDB used to be the lifeline. But then if you're asking for MongoDB, yes, you can just, you know, read through MongoDB, have a bit of knowledge of MongoDB, and then you use it while you're speaking to the recruiters or to hiring managers. Okay, now most importantly, that's just for your CV. Okay, that's just for your CV. Now we also ensure that we revamp and review your LinkedIn for you. Okay, we revamp your LinkedIn for you. Now, all I had mentioned today from the beginning, from the beginning of web scraping, getting all the keywords, putting it in your LinkedIn, your about section, tailoring it to fit, to tell that story, to fit the keywords into your about effectively, you know, have it concise and precise. We'll definitely do that for you. But then there is something very succinct we might not be able to really do for you. Okay, that's you know, commenting or the network that you follow. We wouldn't do that for you, but then we'll revamp your CV entirely for you. I have done the already. I'm gonna take Jude's question last class. Did not receive any recording. I need to know where you'll be sending the recording so that I can track it. Okay, interestingly, I think the mix up Jude and David Murray is having is because I'm still the same person that had taken Thursday's session with Amdari and today's session with Talent Loop. Okay, so please, for Jude, for David Murray, and for any other person coming from Amdari, what you need to do is reach out to the Amdari guys. Okay, reach out to your specialists, please. Reach out to your specialists. Okay, please reach out to your specialists. They would definitely assist you with that. Okay, they would definitely assist you with that. The call was definitely recorded that very day, and they will definitely send that to you. But for today's call, okay, if you want to benefit from today's call, please fill the form. Okay, the form is going to go into the chat again. Please and please. Okay, I had mentioned this countless number of times. Reach out to fill the form. Okay, the form will be put there again. Okay, please fill the form. All right, please fill the form. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for that. Okay, now as I was saying, we'll revamp your CV and revamp your LinkedIn. Now we then go a step further. Okay, you're a busy professional, you don't have the time, or you don't really know where to look at, or I mean, everything is just clumsy, you're confused. There's no pretty much no real sense of direction as to where to look at. Would manage the entire job hunting for you from the beginning, whereby your CV is being revamped. We hunt for the roles for you specific to your career path. Trust me, that's almost more difficult. That's the most difficult part of the entire landing a job. Okay, it's almost more difficult than the interview aspect of things. Okay, job hunting in and of itself is a role. Okay, and you know, if you want to outsource that, definitely, absolutely, what we do is we job hunt for you, we source for these jobs for you, have the discussion with you. We know exactly where you're looking and what you're looking for, where you're looking to get into, where you're coming from, and where you're looking to get into. I'll have that discussion with you, and then we effectively apply to the roles for you. Okay, we effectively apply to the roles for you and also track the role. Okay, also track the role. All right, also track the role. For Jude, absolutely, if you finish Amdari program, you should have a specialist that you can easily reach out to. I know they, do a thing around a lifelong partnership. Okay, they do a thing around a lifelong partnership. There should be no way you don't have a means of communication. Okay, so what we do here at Talent Loop is we definitely, absolutely manage the entire application process. Okay, that's from applying to tracking to ensuring that everything is being put in place such that when you eventually land an interview, when you eventually land an interview, when you eventually land an interview effectively, you get the CV that was used for the application, you get the job description that was used for the application, and most importantly, you get some tips and tricks on how best to ace the interview. And because of how tailored these applications are, because of how we revamp the CV continuously to meet each and every of these applications, we guarantee 3 interviews within a span of 8 weeks. Okay, 3 interviews within a span of 8 weeks. Okay, and that's where the guarantee starts. 3 interviews within a span of 8 weeks. However, this comes with different packages. Okay, so it depends on the package you're currently with us or the package you're looking to get into with us. That's where you get the guarantee. Okay, that's where you get the guarantee of 3 interviews within a span of 8 weeks. And most importantly, the best part of things and the part where I like to always be involved with is the interview preparation. Okay, the interview preparation. So you've gotten the interview. How do you now sell yourself? How do you use some tips and tricks? Okay, if you're coming from Amdari, I know you've had a countless number of soft skill sessions. You're being taught how to speak around some questions when you're being asked behavioral questions or technical questions. Okay, however, if you still are not exactly prepared, what we do here is that generally you're coming in, you've not really stepped into an interview panel, you don't really know what to expect. Heading into an interview panel, what we do for you is we simulate the entire interview panel for you. Okay, so we'll pair you with a professional who would then sit with you. Okay, we'll sit with you, ask you interview-based questions. Okay, ask you interview-based questions and listen to your response. Now, based off of your response, what you have these recruiters, these professionals do that would be prepping you, would give you feedback, live feedback on how best to answer those questions. Okay, live feedback on how best to answer questions. Okay, we could even go a step further. Say, for example, we have noticed that you're really over the place, you don't really know how to structure your responses, or I've had scenarios whereby a fantastic professional, but then they kept on speaking, and they didn't know where to end the conversation. Okay, a question was asked and they kept on answering for the next 10 minutes. I mean, they didn't know where to end it. Most times, you would have recruiters run out of patience and they stop you even before you have made your point. But then you really want to ensure that you're driving home some key details these recruiters just wants to hear. Okay, the key details these recruiters really want to hear. Trust me, what recruiters always have is a checklist. Okay, the hiring managers have a checklist. So while you're speaking during an interview, they tend to tick whether you fit in. Okay, and that's based off of that, we tend to prep you. Okay, we tend to prep you for the interviews just so you can effectively communicate. You can effectively communicate your response. Okay, your skills, your experience, where you're coming from, your certifications, if you have any, how you can use that to carve out a compelling story. So we would definitely prep you for that. Okay, and that's what you'll be getting here at Talent Loop. Okay, that's what you'll be getting here at Talent Loop, and we would be working with you effectively at Talent Loop. Okay, but before I move further, because there is also a pop-up in the chat, very, very important. Okay, very important. Now, you want to benefit from Talent Loop. Okay, you want to benefit from Talent Loop, but you don't know exactly how to go about it. I mean, you have a very unique or peculiar story around where you're coming from, interestingly, and you want to have a one-on-one session with a career coach on how best to assist you, whether it's consultancy you're looking for, or whether it's how we can come in place to apply to these roles for you and effectively positioning you. Speak to a career coach. Okay, you can easily speak to a career coach using the Calendly link that's in the comment section. Okay, using the Calendly link that's in the message box. Okay, so you can use that to effectively book a slot, and then we have a conversation with you. Okay, we have a conversation with you. Now, part of what we do here for specifically for the guys in the UK job market who are looking to, benefiting from the sponsorship package. Okay, from the sponsorship package, meaning you need visa sponsorship. You need visa sponsorship, and you want to land a role that offers visa sponsorship. Absolutely, here's the right place for you. Okay, here is the right place for you, whereby you tend to get 50 specific visa sponsorship job applications for you. Okay, and there's a reason why it is streamlined to just 50 specific visa sponsorship job application. Now, there are a lot of things going out there concerning visa, your visa eligibility and all, be it UK, US, or Canada, but specifically for the UK job market, what you'll be getting here is 50 specific job visa sponsorship job applications for you. Okay, so what we'll be doing is we'll search through and ensure that we are applying to industries that don't have their license revoked, because quite a number of times most of industries in the UK are currently having their license being revoked in terms of issuing out visa sponsorship. So it has made it quite a lot difficult. So one of the routes that we also do is we reach out to recruiters. Okay, we have numerous number of recruiters in our pipeline. So reach out to recruiters, and we have this professional in the pipeline, and they tend to outsource, looking for these roles for you. Okay, and that's what you get if you're on the sponsorship package specifically, as well as 2 interview prep access, interview prep session access. Okay, so you get 2 interview prep session while you're on the sponsorship package. Okay, while you're on the sponsorship package. I'm really spot on time. I don't want to take too much of anyone's time on the call, so I'm going to take a step back again. If you have any question that you want to ask concerning what we do here at Talent Loop, or concerning the session I have taken concerning LinkedIn, you can please feel free to ask your questions. Okay, please feel free, raise your hand, and then go ahead to ask any questions that you have to ask. Okay, any questions that you have, while I give you the answer. Okay, David Murray, once again, please feel free to ask your question.
Sorry, so as it is now, I've heard you've been talking much about LinkedIn, and I'm trying as much as possible to work on my LinkedIn in terms of updating my profile and all that. And sorry, I'm going back to Hamdari, because after the training with analytics, we had to streamline where our core interest is. And right now, though I actually started with SOC analysis, I'm talking about the cybersecurity aspect of it now, but I've shifted. So in terms of upgrading our LinkedIn sessions to be recruiter friendly, and catch the eyes of the recruiter, what are we supposed to do? Is this going to guide us in terms of actually trying to set that up, to actually be, catch it towards the interviewer recruiter? I mean, the LinkedIn, the LinkedIn, is it the most important part of what we are supposed to anchor on,
Okay,
to be able to work with the recruiters that are ready to employ people?
all right, fantastic question, David Murray. Okay, very fantastic question. Now, most importantly, the fact that you had booked a session and you're looking to get on board with Talent Loop, but then I'll still answer your question based off of what you'll be getting once you get on board. Okay, based off of what you'll be getting once you get on board. Now, very interestingly, this session is specifically on LinkedIn. Okay, specifically on LinkedIn, and how best you can position your LinkedIn. Okay, how best you can position your LinkedIn. Okay, now, aside the fact that you mentioned you're into SOC analysis, that's security operations center analyst.
Sorry, pen testing,
Sorry?
penetration tester, ethical
Penetration
hacking. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Penetration tester. Okay, fantastic. Now, what you'd get specifically for your LinkedIn from us, and what would be assisting you to do on your LinkedIn, is we'll do a bit of web scraping. Okay, we'll do a bit of web scraping. We'll get about maybe 50 or 100 or 200. Most times, specifically what I do, okay, personally, is about 300 to 500 different job description. I get every of the keywords that's common, okay, that's common and that recruiters are very, very interested in. Now, because it's common, definitely recruiters will be very much interested in those keywords. Now, based off of that, I use it to build a compelling CV for you, okay, a complete CV, and we call that the master CV. Okay, we call that the master CV. Now, you then go through the CV. Okay, you go through the CV, we'll have a bit of discussion concerning the CV, and then we then use the details of the CV to build the LinkedIn for you. Okay, the details of the CV to build the LinkedIn for you. Now, what that means is because the CV is a master CV and the LinkedIn is going to have every of the details from that particular CV, okay, from that particular CV. Now, that CV is going to be such that whenever you put it out towards any job description, you should be getting nothing less than 90% ATS score, okay, nothing less than 90% ATS score, meaning you are likely going to be a fit for a large number of roles specifically for your own career path. Now, coming to your LinkedIn, what that means in turn is, say, for example, if any recruiter is going to search for any keywords related to that career path, penetration tester, ethical hacking, and all, you're going to definitely get that visibility. You're going to definitely get that visibility. Now, one thing that's now going to, throw you off balance is now depending on the activity that you have on your LinkedIn, detailed activities that you have on your LinkedIn. Okay, is your LinkedIn towards, say for example, I've worked on quite a number of people's LinkedIn, and I noticed, they began to get, you would see it on your LinkedIn, a portion whereby the amount of people that have viewed your profile in the past 30 days, in the past 60 days, in the past 1 week. Okay, now I have noticed that the visibility had increased. A lot of people are coming in there, checking their profile, but they're not getting any callback. And that's the more reasons why this session was being held today. Okay, you're not getting any callback now, and that's why you then need to pay attention to some strategic details, the connections, okay, your engagement, aside your posts, your engagement on LinkedIn. Who do you have as your first or second connect on LinkedIn? Okay, details, those details and all those very interesting things that really sets you apart in terms of when a recruiter goes through your profile. Say for example, a recruiter eventually goes through your profile, and what they find there is you making a comment concerning how Tinubu is a bad president. Okay, how there was flooding at Oshodi on a Friday morning. Okay, maybe that's the next news. I'm saying this based off of what I had seen today on some people's LinkedIn profile. That's the more reason why I'm using this as a case study. I'm sorry about if you are in that category, but then you need to do a turnaround. Okay, you need to do a turnaround concerning those kind of events. You shouldn't be speaking about what's happening in the global stock market if you're in project Scrum Master field. You don't have any business with the engineering field. If you're in, you need to be specific concerning your own career path. Now, those little details is what now really defines and shape exactly how your LinkedIn gets visible. Now, the reason why this session is entirely very important, okay? The reason why this session is entirely very important is, aside the fact that we put out applications for you, we put applications go out there for you, we also want to ensure that you are able to maximize every opportunity that you have. Say, for example, a recruiter reached out to you, okay, you need to also maximize that, as opposed just, being in the conventional job market whereby you apply to roles, you're applying to 100, 300, 500 roles. No, aside that, we also want to ensure that you are able to attract recruiters and you're able to benefit from the hidden job market. Okay, that's the job market that's between you, the hiring manager, that's the recruiter, and the hiring company. Okay, between you, the recruiter, and the hiring company. All right, that's why this session is existing. Okay, but then if you want to have detailed conversation with any of our career coach, any of our professionals, you can easily book a session. Okay, you can easily book a session, and then you tend to have very detailed 20-minute conversation just between you and an employability associate like myself. Okay, I hope that answers your question, David Murray.
Well, yeah, no problem. Let's yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. All right.
All right, fantastic. Hi, Olaiwola. I can see your hands up. Please feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Olaiwola.
I'm trying to send a message to the group, but the message is actually going south.
Sorry, I didn't really catch that. You're trying to send a message. So
Yes, to this live chat we are having. But
okay,
my question goes on: is there anybody that do LinkedIn optimization? Like, if you want a professional to do that for me, is there anybody
absolutely,
that can do that?
absolutely. You can see it on my screen. Okay, you can see it on my screen. It's absolutely here. We do CV and LinkedIn optimization. Okay, we do CV and LinkedIn optimization. So you want to
Okay.
connect CV, LinkedIn optimization, job
Yeah.
application, and interview prep. Just book a session. Okay, just book a session. And now the reason why I want you to book a session is we'll definitely have a conversation with you. We are not just going to do a shabby work for you, or
Okay.
something very shabby for you. Okay, we want to have a conversation with you just so we
I would
can
love
have
to
that
do that.
partnership. Okay, so we can have that partnership with you entirely. Okay, so
Yeah.
speak with you, understand exactly where your pinpoint is, exactly what you need in terms of the service, and exactly where you're looking to get into, just so we can effectively, help you with your optimization. Is where
All
you
right.
want.
Thank you.
Okay, so please book the session. Okay, you have it again in the chat, that's in the comments. You can please book a session, and then we'll proceed with you with that. So please feel free. Any other person on the call, you're looking to book in a session, please book the session, and then we'll have a conversation effectively with you. All right, we'll have a conversation effectively with you. Hi, David Murray. I can see your hand is up.
All right.
Hi,
Thank you.
does that answer your question, please?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay,
All right.
that's
Thank you very much.
sorry. The last session, I think I booked the last session. That one is still valid, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
It's still valid. And that was the more reasons why I asked you to do something very importantly on that session. Book on the call. Don't wait till the call is over. Okay. Don't wait till the call. If you are looking to book, don't wait till the call is over, because we have very limited slots per day. Okay, very limited slots per day. And you don't want a situation whereby you have your slots thrown around to far end in the week, depending on the urgency of how well you need our service. Just depending on the urgency. Book the session on the call. I'll get to you. Okay. If you're not looking at booking the session and all you need is just the recording, okay, if all you need is just the recording, please feel free to fill the form. Okay, feel free to fill the form. Okay, feel free to fill the form, and then we will definitely get started with you. Okay, feel free to fill the form. The form again is in the comment section, that's in the message box. Okay, feel free to fill the form, and we'll definitely send this across to you directly to your email. Okay, directly to your email. I hope that's fine. All right, all right.
Yes.
I'm expecting more.
Thank
I'm
you.
expecting more questions. I'm expecting more questions. I want to believe. I'm expecting more questions, guys. More questions, guys. More questions. Questions. Okay, I can see question. No time is available on the calendar. All right. That's interesting. I think the calendar is filled up. Okay, I think the calendar is getting filled up. So don't worry, we'll have that looked into, and you'll have it sent across. Okay, you have it sent across. So what you want to do, Adegoke? Okay, what you want to do, Adegoke, and anyone who is having that same issue, who is not having any more time slot, like I'd mentioned. I mean, we have quite countless number of guys who are booking a session. Okay, so if you don't have a time slot, what you want to do is fill the attendance. Okay, fill the attendance, and then you definitely absolutely get the attendance.
Come on, bear.
So can someone help me? Hi, Oluche, can you help me mute Ajibade? Hi, Ajibade, you're muted.
I'm good. I'm good. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
All right, continue, please, Ajibade. But I preferred if you had raised your hand before, unmuting, just so I'll have it orderly. I thought, you're speaking out of the blues. All right, just no, don't worry. Go ahead, please, everybody.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So thank you for coming. It's a little bit busy for me here, but at the same time, I just want to make my presence known so that I can ask my question. So I have a section on Monday morning. I just want to confirm. I don't know. Maybe you are gonna want to take it up or Sheyi. I don't know. It's at 9:30. I just want to confirm.
Okay.
Is there any way you can look it up for me?
No problem. I don't know who exactly will be taking the session. So it depends on the time slot. Okay, so we have quite a number of again, before I even go ahead, I really like the entrance. Okay, you mentioned you really wanted to announce your presence. That was a very interesting one. You caught me there. Okay, but then I don't know who exactly will be taking the session you're going to be taking on Monday, but I can guarantee you that whoever you will be speaking with from the team will definitely have, will definitely speak with you a very detailed conversation, and you pretty much enjoy the session because it's specific for you. Okay, just between you and the employability associates. Okay, so just don't worry about who you'd have on the call. Very fantastic professionals who we have here at Talent Loop. Okay, who we have here at Talent Loop, and be rest assured that you have a very, very nice time speaking with the professional. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Bye for
All right.
now. Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, just interestingly, I can still see that a lot of guys are mentioning that no time slot is available. No time slot is available. Okay, so since no time slot is available, what I want you to do is fill the attendance form. Okay, fill the attendance form. Okay, fill the attendance form. Okay, I'm just going to put that in there by myself. Okay, fill this attendance form. Okay, fill this attendance form. I don't know. There should be a portion whereby you can have your phone number and your email. Please do as much as possible to put that in, and we'll have a discussion with you. We'll definitely be on a phone call with you, and we'll definitely help you book a slot effectively. Okay, book a slot effectively. All right, book a slot effectively. So if you can't book a session via Calendly, please fill the attendance form. Okay, so you not just get the recording now, we'll also give you a call, and we will definitely assist you with that. Okay, we'll definitely assist you with that. All right. I can see two questions. Okay, I want to know how much the sponsorship package costs. Okay, and I want to know how much do you charge for the package. All right, fantastic. I'm going to go there, but before I touch base on that, let me get to hear from Sunday. Hi, Sunday. Good afternoon, good evening. Please feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Sunday. Good evening.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to fill the attendance form, but it's not not able to fill it. So I don't know whether it's only applicable to me or some other persons. So I said, let me just ask.
For the attendance form?
Yes, there's a form you drop on the chat.
That's unlikely to happen. Just to confirm, I know there are some important details you need to fill for the attendance form. Okay, just ensure that you're ticking everything right from the beginning where you need to tick for your email.
When I click, it's not even opening for me. That's my
it's not
challenge now.
opening.
So I don't know whether it's applicable to me only. Yeah.
Okay, if it's not opening, what I want you to do is copy just the link. Copy just the link and open it in a new browser. Okay, say for example, if you have a Chrome browser, okay, open it in the Chrome browser. All right, then you should have it opened. Okay, it might be you're using Safari or you're using a Microsoft Edge. I know these companies have a bit of Tozu. Okay, I can see now in the chat box again. I can see in the chat box there is a new Calendly link that's there. Okay, new meeting. So if you're missing out on the first one, a new meeting has been created. You can see there new meeting. So you can use that to schedule. That's for anyone who is unable to schedule a call or book a call. Please use the new link. Okay, use the new link that's there to book the call. You can see it titled new meeting. So please feel free to use that. And again, for Sunday, please, you can copy this, take it down to Chrome and fill the form via Chrome. Okay, I hope that answers your question.
Okay, that's all. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, fantastic. Now for the guys who did mention concerning the packages and what we offer concerning the packages, I'm just going to skip through this. I mean, these are countless professionals who had gotten jobs at the end of the day working with us, and some of them who got recruiters reach out. Okay, so I'm just going to come back here. Yeah, so we have quite a number of packages. Okay, we have quite a number of packages. Okay, the basic, the premium, the comprehensive package, the pro consultation package, as well as the platinum package. Okay, basic, premium, comprehensive, pro consultation, as well as the platinum package. Now, what you'll be getting from the basic package is CV LinkedIn optimization, only that, as well as a job search toolkit. Okay, CV LinkedIn optimization, all that I've been mentioning concerning your CV and your LinkedIn, that's what you're going to be getting from the basic package. Okay, you're going to be getting that from the basic package. It doesn't cost an arm or a leg. It's just 70 USD, depending on where you're joining from. Okay, and it will definitely be converted to your local currency. Okay, now for the premium package, what you'll be getting is still the CV LinkedIn optimization. You definitely absolutely get that. In fact, you get your CV revamped continuously to fit every job application. Okay, to fit every job application, and then we manage the entire job application for you. I mean, right from job hunting, revamping your CV to meet the job description, putting out the application for you, and tracking the application. Okay, so you'll be getting that, and because it's very tailored, we guarantee 3 interviews. Okay, so we are going to ensure that up until you get the 3rd interview, we keep working with you. Okay, up until you get the 3rd interview, we keep working with you, and that's what you'll be getting from the premium package. All right, that's what you're going to be getting from the premium package. Okay, now for the comprehensive package, what you'll be getting here is, the CV LinkedIn optimization, the full job description, full job application, just like you'll be getting the premium package. But the addition here is interview prep with a specialist. Okay, interview prep with a specialist, and you're also going to be handed an interview prep handbook. Okay, an interview prep handbook, which would contain some frequently asked questions during interviews, whereby you can effectively prepare beforehand, even before you step into an interview prep session with a specialist. Okay, so such that you can easily fine-tune your response based off of the case scenario. Okay, so I mean, what you'll be getting from the handbook is frequently asked questions and how best to tailor your response. So you would then have that time to prepare and use your own case scenario to develop your answers. Okay, and when you eventually speak with a specialist, what you'll be getting is now, sorry, just a minute, please. Sorry, just a minute. Okay, so what you'll be getting is we now effectively prepping you for the session. Okay, we effectively prepping you for this session. All right, so that's what you would get for the comprehensive package, as well as getting real-time feedback. Okay, real-time feedback on how best to structure your response. Okay, real-time feedback on how best to structure your response. And again, I'm sorry I didn't speak about this. This goes for 350 USD. Okay, but then one very interesting thing is, before you make any payments, please, before you even think of getting on board, book a session. Okay, because we also have a pricing package which is specific to your needs. Okay, so we have that in place. Okay, the payment plan specific to your needs. If you're looking to get in on board, okay, and that's the more reasons why before you even get on board, we definitely want you to speak with a specialist. Okay, so you can book a session, you speak with us, so we know exactly where the pinpoint is coming from, whether it's the pricing or whether it's how you want the service to be specific to your needs. Okay, so you please feel free to book the session. Okay, please feel free to book the session. Okay, now for the pro consultation package, what you'll be getting here is pretty much entirely different from every other package that you've seen. Okay, every other package. So what you'll be getting here is a review of your CV and your LinkedIn. So this time around, rather than we working on it for you, we'll definitely review it and tell you where and what needs to be adjusted. Okay, do this, do that, and do this. That's what you'll be getting from the pro consultation package. And you know, if you need a list of sponsorship jobs or maybe just job boards, depending on what you're looking to achieve, we'll definitely assist you with that. Or companies that we are, you know, aware of that offer sponsorship in terms of if you are looking to, you know, get a sponsorship, but then with just job boards that you're looking to achieve, we'll definitely assist you with that so you can effectively apply to these roles yourself. And then you get access to interview prep, because at the end of the day, we are really big on you eventually getting the offer. And that's why we have always put this there, the interview prep access. Okay, the interview prep access. So when you get the interview, you come and we help you prepare for the interview, just so you stand a chance, you're on that pedestal to eventually landing that role. All right, to eventually landing that role. And that's the more reasons why, you know, this is existing. The pro consultation package is where we tend to hold your hands and point you to that direction. Okay, hold your hands and point you to that direction. And this goes for 100 USD. Okay, 100 USD. All right. Now for the platinum package, someone did ask for the platinum package. What you'll be getting here, for the platinum package is specifically, so this platinum package is specific for the guys who are looking to benefit from the sponsorship package. Okay, if you're looking to benefit from the sponsorship package, this is 100% for you. Okay, sponsorship package specific to the UK job market. This is specific for you. Okay, the platinum package. Now here, what we'll be doing is it's pretty much research. Okay, research based. Okay, so we're looking at companies, industries that we know are hiring for sponsorship. Okay, we know are hiring for sponsorship, or industries that we know can issue out that certificate of sponsorship. Then we try to put out the application there for you. Now 50 sponsorship job applications for you. That's what you'll be getting. 50 sponsorship job application, irrespective of you know, the time. What this is spread on is 50 sponsorship job application. Okay, 50 sponsorship job applications. Now you still get your CV and your LinkedIn revamp. That's a constant. Okay, now again, we are big on eventually landing you the offer. And aside the fact that, you know, it's just 50 sponsorship job application, we would ensure that we prep you irrespective of when you get the interviews. Okay, the interview might come in anytime, but then once you have the interviews, we'll definitely prep you just so we can put you on that pedestal to becoming a top 1% candidate for the role. Okay, for the role. And that's what you get from the platinum package. And this goes for £150. Okay, 150 Great Britain pounds. Okay, that's what you'll be getting from the platinum package. I hope this answers your question, Nikki and Omotade. Yeah, I did ask. All right, Nikki and Omotade, I hope this answers your question. Okay, fantastic. I can see the thumbs up. Thank you very much for that. Okay, I'm waiting. Just anyone, if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. If not, please book a session. Okay, book a session so you can speak with a specialist who will help you with you know, a payments plan if you need that, or you know, you're looking at maybe a bit of adjustment in terms of what you want to benefit from us. Please book a session. Okay, please book a session. 100% book a session. You still have the Calendly. The new link has been sent to the chat. Okay, the new link has been sent to the chat, so please use that link to book a session. I did notice quite a number of bookings did come in, so please feel free to book the session. Right, book the session. 100% book the session. It's been put again, so please book the session. Well, I can see your hand is up. Are you trying to make a new entry, or was that from the previous one?
The previous one, I guess.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Okay, we've spent the required you know, time I was looking to achieve, which is just over an hour 30 minutes. Okay, so if not, it will be safe to call it a day here. It will be safe to call it a day. If there are no more questions, it will be safe to call it a day. Okay. If the session was fantastic, you did benefit a thing or two. Even though, you did benefit a thing or two. Even if the only thing you did benefit was seeing my face, please give me a thumbs up. Okay. Please give me a thumbs up if you did benefit 18. I'm not seeing any thumbs up. Why? Okay, thank you very much for that. Sunday. Okay, thank you very much for that, John. The Zoom Motade. Okay, I was shocked. I mentioned if you did benefit 18, even if you just see my face. Okay, David. David Murray. We have a bit of partnership we need to step into. I was expecting numerous thumbs up like that from your end. Okay. All right, fantastic, guys. It's nice speaking with everyone on the call. Do have a wonderful evening and catch you in the next one. Trust me, the session is going to keep on happening week in, week out. Okay, week in, week out. You just stay tuned and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Do have a wonderful evening.